This summer, Mark and I embarked on an unforgettable adventure, cycling the European Divide Trail. Created by Andy Cox, this epic route spans 7,600 kilometers, climbs a staggering 83,000 meters, and takes you through 9 countries from the Arctic to the Atlantic. It's a journey of extremes, unforgettable landscapes, and incredible stories. Join us as we tackle this once-in-a-lifetime challenge. We woke in Denmark, country number 4, greeted by blue skies and a fierce northwest wind, great for heading to Portugal, but our route first took us north. Battling strong gusts, we eventually found shelter in forests and on sandy paths resembling dunes. The morning tested our patience as overgrown tractor trails and hidden dune paths slowed us to a crawl. Struggling through thorny bushes left us scratched and frustrated, but a hot dog lunch near the beach lifted our spirits. After lunch, the challenges continued. Flooded sands forced us onto narrow dune trails, and a river crossing required a detour. Riding over the beach was tough, but all worth it. Finally, we hit the smooth bike path of the North Sea route, its shelters and amenities a pleasant surprise. Calling it a day, we stopped early to wash clothes and regroup. After a hearty breakfast with fresh rolls from the camping's bread service, we chatted with a Dutch traveler impressed by our journey. His generosity lightened our load, gifting us 4 bags of adventure food. Navigating Denmark's dunes proved tricky, as steep sandy paths blocked access to the beach. Detouring to Leuken, we enjoyed cappuccinos and a warm welcome at a bike and surf shop, where our journey earned us a spot on their Instagram page. Finally hitting the beach, the hard-packed sand made for smoother riding. Those strong headwinds kept us working. Late in the day, the wind finally shifted to our backs, helping us cruise the last 15 kilometers to the campsite. A surprise pool and sauna capped off the day. We started the day with a supermarket stop, stocking up on fruit and snacks. Shortly after, we hit a milestone: 3,000 kilometers and 25,000 meters of climbing. The journey is truly underway now. The route followed a former railway line toward Viborg with gentle curves, perfect gravel, and minimal wind. For once, the route avoided detours or technical challenges, making it a straightforward and restorative ride. After 100 kilometers, we called it a day, grabbing the last campsite spot, nestled among caravans. A chat with a seasoned 70-year-old bike tourer rounded out what felt like a rare rest day. Our Danish routine continued with a supermarket stop for fresh bread and juice, enjoyed at a sunny picnic table. A cyclist station with tools and a pump allowed us to prep our bikes before hitting the EP3, also known as the Pilgrim's Route. Stopping in Jelling, we explored Viking history with the famous runestones of King Gorm and Harald Blåtand. Reaching Veien, we set up camp at a massive sports complex with excellent facilities, including showers, a kitchen, and even a gym. After a record-breaking third supermarket visit, we devoured 500 grams of pasta, ready for tomorrow's potential rain. A restless night with late-night car noise and early morning thunderstorms left us tired. Heavy rain delayed our start until 11 a.m., but we finally got moving. The route took us through gravel paths, quiet villages, and farmland, feeling more isolated than usual. Mark's first flat tire of the trip slowed us down, but after replacing the tube, we carried on. Later in the day, I also got my first flat tire. After quick repairs, we powered south through clearing skies, reaching the Denmark-Germany border by evening. A final 10-kilometer push brought us to a campsite just before closing. Denmark's perfection is behind us, and we're curious about what Germany has in store. Country number 5 on our trip. We packed up early, enjoying breakfast by the local fire station under a clear blue sky. The day began with shaded rides through dense German forests, a mix of hard and loose sand paths. Villages were quiet with few amenities, while the occasional cities brought confusing chaos to navigate. Along the way, we passed castles, timber-framed houses, and countless monuments, Germany's distinct character fully on display. After passing a Viking museum, several stairs, and even an escalator, we crossed the river at Rendsburg. The forested route through Aukrug Nature Park was stunning, ending in Bad Bramstedt at the first available campsite. We started with a sunny breakfast at a local bakery before heading into dense, shady forests. Soon, we found ourselves on busy urban paths with more stoplights in 1 hour than in weeks. Entering Hamburg through a mix of parks, villa-lined streets, and chaotic downtown areas, we navigated the bustling train station and eventually reached the historic Elbe Tunnel. By late afternoon, we found ourselves cycling through a stunning heath. Conversations with a German mountain biking couple helped us search for accommodations, but all campsites and guest houses were full. After several calls, we secured a room, ending a sweltering 30°C day with a much-needed shower. We started the day with breakfast at the Landhaus, greeted warmly by guests twice our age, and fueled by a hearty meal and coffee. The air was thick and humid, with overnight temperatures not dropping below 20°C. Cycling through the Lüneburger Heide, we marveled at the vast purple fields dotted with classic farmhouses and horse-drawn carriages. E-bike riders braved the sandy paths, while we eventually found solitude on shaded single tracks deep in the forest. A stop at a small organic bakery provided a memorable break. Though closed, the baker made us coffee while tending his wood oven. We reached the campsite just as the sky flashed with lightning and raindrops began to fall. With perfect timing, we set up our tents before the storm fully arrived. The day began with a bumpy ride through logging areas, dodging mud and soft ground where heavy machinery had left tracks. And when rain hit, we sheltered at a bus stop before continuing in damp jackets. Approaching Hanover, the paths improved, and we rode through forests and over highway bridges, eventually skirting the city's outskirts. After Hanover, the first mountains came into view. Overgrown trails of nettles and thistles tested our patience and legs. But the real challenge came in the final 30 kilometers, 700 meters of climbing through stunning landscapes and panoramic views. By late afternoon, we rolled into Hamon. We left Hamon early under threatening clouds, tackling a steep 300-meter climb straight out of town. At the top, we expected a smooth descent, but instead slogged through deep mud. Before midday, we hit a major milestone. 3,800 kilometers, exactly halfway through the route. However, with only a third of the elevation gain completed, tougher days lie ahead. That was clear today, with more steep climbs, offering views like the stunning Bad Pyrmont Lookout Tower and the historic streets of Blomberg. We stopped at a quirky camping spot near Paderborn, setting up on a quiet, romantic beach by a lake. It felt like Sweden all over again, complete with rain and a swarm of mosquitoes. We woke to damp gear and gray skies, but a kind encounter brightened our morning. A tractor driver invited us for coffee with his daughter, a cycling enthusiast amazed by our journey. The pause gave us energy to tackle the day's 1,954 meters of climbing through the stunning Arnsberger Wald. Steep ascents and muddy trails tested our resolve, but breathtaking views made it worthwhile. A slow leak in Mark's front tire forced a repair stop at a gas station. Hoping to camp, we gambled on finding a spot despite full reservations. Rejected at the first site, we pushed on to another, arriving late to find a lakeside green strip next to an après-ski-style party. Maneuvering through the revelers, we squeezed in our tents and even enjoyed a currywurst on the terrace. A stunning lakeside view and coffee in the quiet morning before heading off. With high temperatures and over 1,000 meters of climbing in the first 30 kilometers, the day quickly became grueling. The afternoon brought shady but challenging trails through overgrown fields and forests. I booked a room for the night via a listing on Booking.com, only to find it marked permanently closed on Google Maps. A quick call confirmed we'd be welcome. Later, we passed a rare open restaurant and enjoyed pasta. Good decision, as the hotel's restaurant was indeed permanently closed, leaving just the eerily empty building.